Battle control initialized.
Hey there, people. Nice to have you here. Just have a chill session watching two guys duke it out in Woodlands. We have top of the Shadow Ladder guy who sent this replay for me to watch. Says it was a good match or something like that. Like it's worth sharing to people. So we have Hyper, who's not playing Shadow. Actually, he's playing as Zocom, one of his main GDI faction, sub faction. Like if you think of Hyper playing GDI, it's usually Zocom. If it's not Zocom, it's Eagle. One of the two. Titans, nah, he doesn't really talk. He doesn't really roll with Talon as much as others do. And on the bottom right, we have Mr. Bendover here. We've seen this guy before, and this is Sir. Sir having a funny name there, Bendover. If you're a child, maybe you could think of that one. You know, yeah, you think, yeah, funny joke, funny name, something like that. Yeah, you can do that, or you could share that to your friends. Maybe they've never heard of that before. You know, because that's just how people are. Men, we are very very simple creatures. We just find something nonsense and then we think of it as hilarious. So we saw Hyper sending in a infantry right there in order for him to see like what sub faction Sir is or Sir was. Because he knows that he random scrin, but he doesn't know what specific sub faction he got. So he got Reaper 17. That's actually the sub faction Sir plays a lot. Like I've played with him. The first match I played with him and I lost. That's because he got Reaper. Excuse me, Reaper 17. If you're not aware what they have Stormcrawlers, which is basically the tankiest tier 2 tank, has the highest HP. It's like similar to a mammoth tank, but it's tier 2, not tier 3. So that's a big difference right there. Like timing wise, is a really huge thing. So we see their Hyper pulling out a couple of Humvees, trying to scout out the vision over here, try to see where Sarah's buildings are at. So he sees three refineries, and he actually spotted one harvester there. So he knows that like Sir already has a war factory out, but right now he's very confident. Like, okay, nothing's coming out even up to this point. So he's most likely going for the 5 harvester build and staying here in the main base for as long as possible until he gets the nerve center, which is actually the radar for Scrin. So, with that information in mind, Hyper pulls out a couple of tanks because he saw Sir had all infantry right there, all rifle infantry or warriors. If I have to be very specific. So he saw that Sir did not have a single disintegrator, so which is the screen rocket trooper. So pulling out a couple of battle tanks really help his situation there, and even that new scouting there from the second Humvee, it pretty much confirms him that he has no anti-tank capabilities. Well, until the intruders came out. So intruders are the tier 2, screen tier 2, which is basically anti-tank, anti vehicle and building. And we have here the first fight between the two. Unfortunately, not enough tank for Hyper, but it does seem like Sir is winning a little bit. Now, with the other tank coming in, it's pretty much over. Medics are pretty much doing the heavy work right there in the back, and Sir is being pushed back. Now, if anything, Sir should stay behind and try to play defensively because he doesn't know if Hyper is gonna push or not. But this is a good choice by Hyper. Instead of going all in right away, stayed back a little bit and tried to regroup his forces. And now he pulled out like 2 MLRS. MLRS is probably the best like kiting artillery the game has against infantry. Like we have excuse me. We have Soviet for V2s. You have Skrin with I don't think he's making it right now. But Skrin has Corruptors, which is basically like a big ass caterpillar who pisses on you, like corrosive stuff, and that actually like has a trailing animation of the weapon. So unlike other weapons like MLRS or Prism, like as I said, like MLRS is like one of the best because of how easy it is to micro it, and Prism Tank also. So for Corruptors V2, what else am I missing? Nod doesn't have a tier 2 artillery if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so Corruptors and V2 they need to stand. Yeah, this one. Corruptors, you need to stand in order to shoot. Like you can't shoot on the move, right? You can't kite. Unlike with MLRS and Prism tanks. That's why I really like their kiting capability. So see Sir here undeploying and then deploy. I did see it like undeploy and then move, and then while it's moving, it's still producing buildings. That's because the thing it chose is Rebel, whereas your colony ships are able to produce structures while on the move. So similar to how OpenRA players, they usually rush for like service depot in order for them to get a to get another MCV. So something like that is being done here. So which is really cool, a really good uniqueness for Scrin Allegiance, which is the Rebel. So right now, Sir is taking advantage of that one. While he is producing the structure. Right now, he's just gonna deploy, place it right here, and then another refinery. That's what he's gonna like. It's such a good feature, It's such a cool feature. So right now, Sir has spotted the Warthog, so he needs to take that down if he wants to ensure that his troops will not get wiped by a bombing run. Hyper has now placed his tech center and now has pulled out the big guns, which is the Disruptor, the anti-infantry for the Zocom Sav faction. And Sir is not the one to stay behind. He has already pulled out his tech center here earlier and now has taken up to make a mastermind, which is something he usually doesn't make, So it's a good character development by Sir. Usually plays Crin, reaches tier 3, but never makes a mastermind. So mastermind is able to plus minus any unit that it comes into contact. So what do I mean by that? Like it takes away one troop and adds it to your side. It's mind control. And we have another hyper classic, but he almost screwed it up. So yeah, that's what I meant earlier. Sir did good targeting right there. 2 of his Storm Rider picked off the MLRS. Again, the core of Sir's damage usually relies on his infantry. That's why he needs to make sure that any anti-infantry capability of his enemy is taken down. So right now, Warthogs are just going around, circling around, trying to look for a location, trying to look for a path of least resistance to drop on the napalms on top of Sir's troops there. But with the presence of the Shardwalker, Scrin's anti-air ground unit, he is not able to do it easily. So Hyper has placed his commando inside the APC, inside the Vulcan, because he knows that there's like a couple of Storm Rider, and that's not a good movement by Sir. He almost lost everything. Is it able to catch it? No, it's not. Okay, so yeah, Sir risked going for the Warthogs there. As I said, he's trying to take down the anti-infantry capability of Hyper right there, but to no go. So right now, Sir is somewhat on break even for his money. I'd say he should stop building like 1 or 2 productions and then his money will stabilize a little bit. Hyper is now trying to look for a way, poking, I guess. Poking sights, on a lookout. How do you say it? Yeah, so he sees him, but nothing much. In moments like this, okay, so in moments like this, you could be able to deal a lot of damage by having a detachment go around and then like do some mental damage. So if you have aircraft, you could use them as recon. So let's say you have tanks here, tanks and some infantry. Go in and then destroy it. You just use the Warthog to see where are the troops are. So we have Hyper. Are you gonna drop bombs on top of it? Nah, it's not the best. It's definitely not the best unit for it. And now because of that, Hyper has no information where Sir's infantry are or troops. So right now he's kinda off guard. His attention is right here. Sir is placing all of his. Yes, Sir is placing his Stormcrawler is in front, but the other one is way too far. That Orca Bomber is dead. And here comes the Warthogs, no. And here comes the fight. We see that shot right there, which was the surgical strike. Oh my god. I am speechless. So, that was a... yeah, surgical strike and Firestorm. So, Hyper used two things. Surgical strike is Zocom only, if I'm not wrong. I don't play GDI much. But he wiped out a lot of the infantry right there from Sir. And with the use of the Firestorm, it also decimated a huge part of his army. And it does seem like the Disruptor is gonna do some cleaning work up here. We have a Mammoth tank. We have an Iron Mammoth already, prepared to destroy whatever's left and use the beam to eradicate the Stormcrawler. However, Hyper is not prepared for the PACs. PACs are now coming in, trying to pressure onto Hyper. Hyper should now pull back because he does not have a single Vulcan on the spot. He will lose out this Disruptor and potentially the Iron Mammoth. But this PAC is now bringing in a lot of damage onto the vehicles. If anything, Sir, you should pull back your PAC. Good job right there. And now Vulcan has a high priority target on the PAC that is flying around. Unfortunately, it will be going down pretty much like that. So, Hyper right now should not try to push in. And there is a mastermind. Is he going to steal the Iron Mammoth? And he does! And there goes the push from Hyper. He is now being slowed down. The impetus is dead. He has now to stop. He has now... the only option right now for Hyper is to stop here, try to unwind, and then replenish his army. With the two planetary assault carriers online, he is forced to make a couple of Vulcans in order to counter it. Because if you don't counter it, then you will have a really, really bad time against Kryn. And with the appearance of the Mastermind, Hyper does not have a single thing against the infantry. Like, he can't snipe it. That's the bad thing with GDI. So, I believe what Hyper is waiting here is he's waiting for another surgical strike and ion cannon. But unfortunately, it's kind of weird for Hyper right here. He has drop pods ready for the entire match for like 10 minutes already. He could have exerted some extra effort or some extra pressure. Perhaps like right here. Should have been good. Now Hyper has 4 Vulcans. Feels like this is a good amount of... a good number of anti-air, and for some reason he's floating again. I think he forgot, folks. Forgot to queue up infantry and tanks. Maybe that's what's happened here. Sir has run out of money though. So if anything, Hyper should try to be very careful. And the commando's down, and he's now using the support power to call in the Black Widows. Black Widows are shooting down the planetary assault carriers. This might be the turnaround that Hyper's been looking for, and one goes down. The Mastermind goes down also, and that Iron Mammoth from the back is now returned to Hyper's control, and all of the PACs are down. Oh my god, ladies and gents, and we are seeing a turnaround with a simple click of a button. Because Sir was relying heavily on the PACs. He got shot down by relying on that one single thing. Overconfidence could kill you, ladies and gents. And we do see Storm Riders picking off a lot of the stuff here. Iron Mammoths doing some work. Nullifiers are going forward, and I don't know what that is. And there goes the Surgical Strike. Pretty good from Hyper. He has Ion Cannon ready in a few seconds. And no, yeah, in 30 seconds he has an Ion Cannon, and there's also Firestorm ready for him too. And now Sir has to react to this one. You need to react because like some of your stuff is right here, and your aircraft are going down. Oh no, the single Vulcan destroyed that Devastator right there, and it goes down like that. But I would say that Vulcan did very well. And then a Mastermind will take another. No, it will not. Hyper lost his Disruptor right there. And he also lost his Iron Mammoth. Sad to say. As I said, ladies and gents, Mastermind is a really strong infantry. And here comes the drop pods, and they die. I think the better, yeah. I still think this was a better choice. So, unless if Sir is gonna react to this, is he gonna let this happen? Well, it's not really a big thing because he has another refinery there. Going back here into the main... in No Man's Land, ladies and gents. Yeah, I think that's gonna be destroyed. He's not... Okay, what's happening here is like... Oh, that's a misfire. And here comes the Ion Cannon. Where is it firing? It's firing over here. Oh no! A lot of Hyper's troops are dead, and I believe this is definitely a GG, guys. Like a huge army portion there, and Hyper is already recovering his army. I see some friendly neighborhood action right there. Hyper, Sir is having an HOA moment, putting up some plasma cannons, and Hyper is now doing the same thing unto Sir. Hey, you can't build that thing right there. I will enforce you. Please remove it. Going back here to the main fight, we are seeing Hyper amassing like three tier 3, tier 4 vehicles right there. Sir keeps making Devastator warships. I would suggest to you to stop making more than 2. Is he making another one? He's making another one. I would suggest not to make more than 2. Like, you're up against tanks, right? You're up against tanks. You need PACs again. I think this is the moment he forgot to make more PACs. And it does feel like he's gonna just roll in. Hyper's gonna roll in and destroy the entire army right here with the help of the Disruptor, cleaning up all of his infantry, and the Iron Mammoth bringing in the burst damage needed to destroy, and the Vulcans cleaning up the air, taking down the mosquitoes off the air. However, Sir won the HOA moment right here, and he claims this one singular tree for his name. And now Hyper is going to lose. No, Sir is gonna lose this. Yeah. Hyper did not lose any more vehicles than that. But that said, ladies and gents, I think this is a game over. Really good support power play by Hyper right there. And unfortunately, I think Sir just stopped making PACs because he felt like Vulcans were too strong against his air. That's just how it is. So against a mass vehicle like this, a mass vehicle spam like this, you're better off making like PACs as Kryn or intruders. Maybe mix in some tripods. He did not make... yeah, he's making some tripods right now, but I think it's way too late. So right now, it's just a slugfest, and a GG's been called. Great game by the two of them, ladies and gents. Tug of war in the middle, No Man's Land. And then a really good play by Hyper using Surgical Strike and Firestorm. And that, ladies and gents, is Woodlands, a game between Hyper and Mr. Bendover. It appears that Hyper did not bend over, he made Sir Bendover. And we shall see you on the next one.
Battle control terminated.